there. Today I'm going to teach you a low back reset series. So starting with like 2 couch pillows, we're going to make a bolster for your upper body. So you can put one down and then you're going to stair step the other one a little bit higher than it. So your shoulder blades are going to go on the lower pillow and then your head is going to go up on the higher pillow. So lying on down. You can puff the upper pillow up a little bit if you feel like you need a little bit more head height. But starting with your right leg, you're going to bring your knee into your chest with a flexed foot, and you're going to stack your hands in front of your knee, and you're going to lightly push your hands into your knee and your knee into your hands, and then hold and breathe and stay. And then gently back off. So it's an isometric, so the thigh isn't moving, your hands aren't moving, your hands are blocking your thigh, and then press your knee into your hands and your hands against your knee. And then back off. And then repeat it again, but this time as you push your hands against your knee, think of your knee pushing against your hands like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. It's like you're increasing the intensity of activity, turning up the dial of work, pressing your knee into your hands until you get to about 100%, and then gently back off. And then repeat that one more time. Exhale, pushing your knee into your hands, 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. If you feel any pain, you stop at that point, and you can back off and not go to 100, and then let it all go. And then switch to the left leg. Switch which hand's on top if you can remember. And then same thing, push your knee into your hands and your hands into your knee and just hold and stay. And then gently back off. And then try it again. Exhale, pressing your hands against your knee and then your knee against your hands. And then gently back off. And then same thing again, you're going to push your hands against your knee and your knee against your hand, 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, increasing the intensity of effort in your thigh, and then back off. And then same thing again one more time. Push your knee into your hands against your knee. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then let that go. So now you're going to do the opposite. So you can walk your feet as close to your bottom as you can get. You're going to push your right heel directly down into the floor like a stake, driving into the ground. And you can immediately go 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. So you feel the back of the calf, the back of the knee, the hamstring, all the way up to the glute turning on. And then let it go. And then repeat the same side again. Right heel pushes down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. And then backing off. And then same thing again. Right heel drives down into the floor. And you might notice that your right hip gets a little bit higher to the ceiling on purpose. And that's okay. And then gently back off. So then try the same thing on the left side. Left heel pushes down into the floor, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. Feel the back of the calf, the back of the knee, the hamstring, all the way up to the glute turning on, and then back off. And then repeat it again. Left heel drives down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, and then gently backs off. And then same thing one more time. Heavy, heavy heel. Drive it down, 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 down. And again, my left hip is now slightly higher to the ceiling, and my right one's a little bit lower to the floor on purpose. It's okay to let that go, and then gently release. So you're going to bring your right knee back up to where it was with a flexed foot. Hands are blocking the knee, and you're going to push your knee against your hands like you did a moment ago, but you're also going to push your left heel down into the floor at the same time. So it's like a push and a press simultaneously. So you're going to take a deep breath in. On your exhale, push your knee into your hands and your opposite heel into the floor and hold and stay, hold and stay, hold and stay, and then gently back off. Make sure the pelvis stays relatively steady. Shoulders are at ease, easy low back of the neck. And then same thing, push the knee into the hands, push the opposite heel into the floor, and hold and breathe, hold and breathe, hold and breathe, and gently back off. Same thing one more time, push the knee into the hands, the heel into the floor, and you can think 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100% of intensity, and then gently back off, and then try the other side. So left knee comes in, other hand crosses on top, right heel is going to be pushing the floor. So your left knee pushes into your hands, your right heel pushes into the floor, 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, and then gently back off. And then repeat that again. Exhale, press and push, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%, and then gently back off. And one more time, exhale, push and press, push and press, push and press, and breathe. And then let that go. And then I like to straighten my legs out and just rock them around a little bit. It's a lot of hip flexion. So you're gonna take a pillow and I'm gonna fold it and slip it between my knees. You can also use a yoga brick or something a little thick to squeeze. Your feet are still close to your bottom, and we're just gonna do a symmetrical inner thigh squeeze. So you're gonna take a deep breath in. On your exhale, you're gonna lightly squeeze your knees into your pillow. Hold, 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 and breathe, and then gently back off. And then you're gonna repeat that again. Exhale, press and squeeze, 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 and then gently back off. And just like before, you're gonna squeeze the pillow 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. The pelvis stays really steady. You want to watch that you don't tuck under. But you've got a small pencil width of space in your low back. And then back off on the knees. And again, exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Hold. And gently back up. And one more time. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Feel a little low abdominal support. Hold the squeeze. Drive both of your heels into the floor. 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So much that just levitates your pelvis off of the ground, and you're still holding the pillow really tightly. And then float the pelvis back down and back off on your knees. And then try that again. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then drive your heels down, 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 down to float or just levitate the pelvis up. Tiny float. And then lower the pelvis down and gently back off on the knees. And try it one more time. Exhale, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Get to 100%. And then drive your feet into the floor to lift your pelvis up into the air. Just a tiny bit of clearance, just enough to slip a sheet of paper under there, holding the squeeze, and then lowering the pelvis all the way down, and then backing off, and you can set your pillow off to the side. So now you want to do almost the opposite of you want to push apart. So you can just simply put your hands on the outsides of your thighs, kind of up in between your knees and your hips, and you want to exhale and lightly push your thighs out into your hands and block it with your arms, and hold and stay, hold and stay, hold and stay, and then gently back off. And then same thing again, push your hands against your knee, or your thighs, and your thighs against your hands, and hold and stay, hold and stay, hold and stay, and gently back off. And then same thing, you can push your thighs against your hands, 10%. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100%. It's a lot of work in the arms, which is kind of an extra bonus. And then gently back off. And then try that one more time, pushing out, 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 out. And then gently release. And then again, I like to straighten my legs and just roll that around a little bit. So you're gonna take your time and you're gonna roll onto one side carefully and push your way up using your hands. We're gonna keep these pillows to bolster your knees for a hip glide. So I tend to stack my pillows, but you're gonna come on top of them. You're gonna tuck your toes under to the best of your abilities. And what you're gonna wanna do is nudge your knees back, walk them back a little bit until your feet are bent as tight to a 90-degree angle as you can possibly maintain. And then you're gonna walk your hands forward into a cat back position. So you're on your hands and your knees. So keeping your back flat or neutral, you're gonna slowly sit straight back, like you're slightly sticking your bottom out, folding deeply at your hips and maybe putting a little pressure on your feet. And then gently back off. And then repeating that again, gliding the pelvis straight back. And gently back off. And same thing again, tip it back. And rock it back forward. And one more time, rock it back. And then rock it back forward. And if that feels okay, you can rock back and stay. And again, if your back feels okay doing this, you can slide your pelvis a little bit over to the right, like a typewriter carriage, sliding across, kind of sitting a little bit more into your right heel. And then come back through center, and then swipe your pelvis across to the left, like you're sitting a little bit more into your left heel. And then back through center. And then same thing, swipe across. And come back through center. And same thing on the left, swipe across. And back through center, one more on each, swipe across. And back through center, one more time, swipe across. And back through center, and then you can rock your way forward and relax your feet. So you're gonna completely relax your head down, and we're gonna do an abdominal release. So it's like everything we tell you not to do, where you're gonna inhale and you're gonna let your belly and all your abdominal contents go. And you're gonna take a couple deep breaths here. You're still actively pushing the floor away with your arms and legs, but you're letting your belly fall to the ground. So every time you inhale, you're gonna feel your belly inflate like a balloon. And when you exhale, just simply deflate. And again, inhale. And exhale. Keep pushing out of your arms, inhale. And exhale. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. And then you can rest back in a child's pose or a cat or something similar to let that go and give your wrists a little bit of a break. So we're gonna keep using your pillows. You're gonna lie down onto your stomach so that the pillow ends up being more on your belly and that your pubic bone hangs off the end a little bit. So it causes my pelvis to slightly tuck under, and then I can lower down and make like a little pillow with my hands for my forehead. So I'm gonna pick my head up, but from here you're gonna bend your right knee in only as far as you can without the front of your pelvis changing position. So the front of my pelvis is as pushed down into the pillow as possible, and then I'm gonna lower my shin back down. And then same thing on the left, exhale. And again, it's only as far as the leg can go without getting a big hip cramp and keeping the front of the pelvis really steady. And then back off. And same thing, pulling the right heel in. I like to point my foot because it closes off the calf and the hamstring. Front of the hip is not only level left to right, but again, I'm burying my pelvis down into the pillows a little bit and lower back down. And again on the left. And back down. And you might feel which quadricep feels tighter. So you're gonna bend your right knee in and hold and stay. Think of your shin like a windshield wiper and gently twist your shin across your midline. Again, working to keep both hip bones perfectly level, and then gently twist your shin away. And then repeating that again, twisting it across, keeping both hip bones really heavy, and then rotating wide. And again, twisting in. And away. And again, twisting in. Again, keeping both hips really still and steady. and rotate away. And then come through center and then lower the foot on down and try the other side. So bend, pulling the heel in toward your bottom. Pelvis is nice and steady, and then you're gonna twist that lower half of your leg like a windshield wiper, crossing your midline, and then gently twist it away. And again. Both hip bones stay really level for this one, and gently rotate away. And again, you can just breathe every time you cross over. And inhale away. And one more time, cross it in, cross it in, cross it in. And then away. And then come through center, lower down. Just do one more hamstring curl on the right. See if it feels any looser and freer. You should have a little bit of buoyancy in the knee. And back down, and then same thing on the left. A little buoyancy, yeah. And then you can use your hands to push up. And same thing, you can sit back in a cat or a child's pose or something similar. So carefully come on up. You're gonna still use your pillows, and we're gonna finish with what's called a psoas release. So I'm gonna take my little pillow from earlier and add a little bit of height for my head. But again, my shoulders are on the lower pillow. My head is gonna be on the higher pillows. You're gonna lie down so that your mid kind of upper back, for a woman it would be a bra line, has a little gap of space back there. And if you hang out here long enough, like 10, 20 minutes, gravity would allow the rib cage to drop down and release the psoas. So feel free to hang out here as long as you'd like. I like to watch TV in this position, or read a book or something where I'm going to be here for a long period of time. And then if this doesn't feel fantastic, if you feel like you need a little bit more stretch in your low back, what you're going to do is you're going to take the smaller of the two pillows and you're going to slip it underneath your pelvis, which causes your pelvis to slightly tuck under. And you can kind of adjust and move where you need to be. So now your back is like a hammock and you're allowing it to bend all the way through. And just hang out here and breathe. Again, you can hang out here for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, as long as you can sort of tolerate to let gravity take over and allowing like the iliacus and the lumbar to let go. And then whenever you're ready, you can just slip the pillow out. Again, roll to one side, using your hands to help bring you all the way up. And then climb on up and take a little walk around and see how your low back feels.